Everything is looking good so far, and let's continue with our application. Now, the next thing that we want to do, we want to add some new category. And first thing that we will gonna do, in category list component.html, we have created this button add category, and we can create a click event will be equal to redirect add category. And of course we have error because we didn't define that function in the category list component.ts. Let's do it now. I will, under ng on init, I will create this function. And it will be empty function for now. I also want to create it in category service. I will open category service, but before that I want to create category form component. Let's type npx ng generate component. Inside components, categories, and the name of component will be category form. Let's create the component. We have created our component successfully. Category form works, and let's add up navbar. It's okay for now, and the next thing, let's go to the category service. We also want to define a function redirect add category. We already have the router. Let's use this router and let's navigate. The route will be categories / add category. But we didn't define this route in the routing module. We need to do it now. Here under categories, I will create new route. Path will be categories, add category, and component will be, of course, it will be category form component. And we still have an error. Okay, I forgot a comma. Now I'll just save it. And let's go back to category service. We have defined, which is great, this function. And of course, we need to define it in the category list component TS. We already have category service. And in the redirect add category, we will just call this dot category service redirect add category, and it should be fine. It should work now. Let's see. Add category form works, which is okay. Now we need to create a form for category. let's go. I will close this category list component. Let's open category form. We will remove this default paragraph. Let's create a div. Class will be container, margin top 5, and let's add margin bottom. Text center, and also text primary. We will just give it a name, category form, like a title. And also we need to give it margin bottom. We will use 5 to be separated from the form, and let's create a form. I will create a class form group. And inside this div, let's create a label. If we look in the category, in the classes, if we look at the category, we will not provide ID in the form. We just need one field for the category name. And let's create it. Name. And now let's create input. Type will be text. ID will be name. We will give it the same, will be the name, because it's a name. The next field, placeholder, enter name. And now to specify the field, we need to type ng module equals to category dot name. I think that should be fine, but we have some problems. Okay, let me first, this will be for input. Okay, we will leave it with that error. And I also need a span tag for the error. And I need some text. If we look in the, I will move to the back. I want to see again category DTO. I want to see the validation. Maximum can be 50 and not empty. Let's write some text. We will just write not empty. Maximum 50 letters allowed. This is just example of some validation. We want that message to be displayed if our input is not correct. But let's give it a style. It will be, visibility will be hidden by default. And I will also give it a class. It can be text danger with a red color. And also we need to give it ID. We will call it name error. The field the ID is name for input, and for the error will be name error. I think that will be good. And that will be for the form group. After form group this is form group from category name, and I just need one more div. Class will be text center. I need it for the submit button, and I will give it margin top 5 to separate it from the form. And inside I will create a button, submit. Class will be, it can be button primary, and we need to specify type will be submit. And I will save, and now of course we have an error, can't bind to ng module since it isn't no property of input. We need to include forms module. First thing that we need to do, we need to go to app module, and we have imports, browser module, and app routing module. Let's give it one comma, and let's type forms module. And I think that will be all. We will just save it, and forms module is imported. But let's check if that's still the error. It's still the error, but what is the problem? Category.name, we didn't specify the category in the category form.ts. Let's do it now. Let's close app module and category.ts. Let's go to category form ts, and first let's define category. Let's create category, which will be category, and we will initialize like new category. And still we have an error. Maybe the problem is in the, I'm not sure if the problem is in ng module. But I think let's try. I also need it's really strange, and I think just a second, ng mod, it's not ng module, it's ng model. It's my fault again, and I hope that will be good for now. ng model, and now it doesn't look good for now. Let me check again, and I will give it a class. Class will be form control. Now I will check it again. Now it's better. It will be a classic form, but we will also need a submit event. Let's find the form. ng submit will be add category, and we'll get the error because we didn't define this function. Let's define it on the TS. Add category. It is just to avoid the error, but it will not resolve anything. We need to define this in category service. Let's open category service. And let's create a function. Add category. And this will be a post function. We can type like asynchronous function. Okay, we have target URL. And now let's call Axios again. Axios. Now the method for will be post. And we will use this target URL. API categories, and it will be, the method is store category. Yes, that will be store category, but also we need to define, one category here. And we will initialize like new category, because we will need category to store it. Now let's continue. Now what we will post? We have name, and it will be, we will use the name of this category. This dot category dot name. I think that it will be good, but it's just a promise. But in this, and also we forgot, it's a synchronous function. Let's type await Axios post. This is just a promise, and we will also resolve this promise here. Let's try. Then if everything is fine, let's create a function. We will just call a redirect all categories if everything is fine. And if we have some problem, let's create a catch. If we have some problem, we will just create one alert and we will just write failed. That will be good. We have created method for add category, and we can also create set category function in the category service, and we will take temp category as a parameter. And now let's type this dot category we want to redefine this category equals to temp category. And this will be okay. Now we have created a function to set category and to store category. It's add category. We will define it with Axios. And now let's return to category form. Now we can use, but we don't have category service. Let's create a constructor. And inside the constructor, let's define private category service and let's call this category service add category. And let's see how it will gonna work or how it will not gonna work. Let's go again. We are inside category form, and if we submit the form, we have a problem. Failed. And what can be the problem? Here is our request, JSON request, and the response will be the data is not validated. We have received from the back. The data is not validated, and of course we have this error because we have an empty name. And the service in the back works perfectly fine. The problem now is in the front. We need to provide the name. Okay, let's provide the name. We can provide TV, will be enough. And if we type again, we have the problem. And what's the problem now? Let's see what's the problem now. The problem is the same. And why do we have the same problem? It's pretty much simple. We have this promise. Let's see here in the category form. On submit this form, we will call add category function from the category form component.ts. And we have defined this function add category, and we will call the function from category service. Okay, let's go to the category service. And in the category service, we have post request. We will store category and we will use the name from the category here that we have defined, and we have initialized it with a new category. But where is the name? It's only new category, it doesn't have a name. The problem is because here, when we are submitting the form from the category form component.ts, we will submit the name for, if we are submitting the name, we will submit the entire form for this component. And okay, but when we are submitting the form, where will be that component? It doesn't have anything to do with this category. This is a new category, and always this new category will be submitted. The point, what we need to do, we need to set this category in the category form component TS. We need to set it to category service. That is why we have created set category in the category service. before we call this function, this category service add category, before that we need to set category, this category service. Let's set category, and we will set category. Of course, we need to specify category. We will specify the category from category form component. That is what we need to do. This dot category. Otherwise, this new category always will be submitted to category form, and this is useless. We will always have a failed response. And now let's try to do it again. Of course, if we submit empty form, it is because the name is empty. Let's see our... Okay, we have 3 categories. And let's move back to the browser. We have, let's try to submit TV. And here it is. Here it is. We have submitted the form successfully. 1 of 4. Now we have 4 entries, which is great. And let's check in the database. Here is our TV, which is perfect. And of course, we can store another category. Let's type washing machine. It works. And let's try once again, and let's try to submit. But if we submit an empty form, we will have the error, which is normal. This is our back service is working normally, and of course we have that exception if we try to store category with empty name. And we need to provide a validation for this, and we will do it in the next tutorial. See you soon.